from the hood, champion boxing and sports. In boxing, you find a way to lose or you find a way to win. So, Derrick James is tired of the Terrence Bud questions. He doesn't want to hear anything about Terrence Bud Crawford. He doesn't want anyone talking about anything but the Ugas fight. He's tired of people asking him about Errol Spence, how he's performing in training camp, how he feels Errol Spence is going to be down the road, so his prognosis for Errol Spence's performances over the next couple of years based on what Errol Spence has been through in regards to the car accident. They're tired of he's tired of being asked questions about the fans in Texas, about pay-per-view, who's the pay-per-view draw, about the big fish. Derrick James he's had enough. So he had this guy, one of those guys have his own little boxing channel, man. I don't know what his last name is. I know it's Mark. He wears glasses, a Hispanic fella. Mark Villegas, I think is his last name. It's out there on YouTube. Just Google it, man. But Errol Spence will get on stage, right? This is what I don't get. And I understand his frustration, especially me being a guy, 25 years, what I did. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I don't need you to ask me the same damn question about something that someone just addressed. And we were all in the same damn room or the same forum on the same virtual meeting. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to Terrence Bud Crawford, if Errol Spence says he's one step closer to being undisputed in the welterweight division and the welterweight king, by snatching up this third belt, it gets him closer to his goal. There's only one other person with a belt. If Errol Spence snatches up this belt from Ugas, there's only one person left. So when these guys are coming out with these questions after the press conference, and they go to the trainer. So, do you think Errol Spence will fight Terrence Crawford? My man is looking at him like, yo, where were you? Weren't you in the same room with me? And you can tell, I just think timing was off for that guy, man, because I'm sure that probably like 4 or 5 people had already just sat there and just drilled him with questions that Errol Spence already answered just through his delivery and the things he was addressing on stage. There weren't specific questions asked to him when he was on stage. He was just talking. So if I'm talking about something and you have questions about different things that are going on, and you don't get a chance to ask me, well, as I'm talking, you're getting the answers, you should be jotting it down. Oh shit, he's talking about becoming undisputed. That's his next step. If he can get through this fight with Ugas, next step is work as hard as he can to become undisputed. Means the man wants to fight Crawford. Now, if they would have came to him and said, hey, we heard Spence, he said the next step is for him to become undisputed. It sounds like he wants a Crawford fight. How confident are you that we can make that happen, seeing that it wasn't able to happen in the past? We understand the whole thing about the purse split, 80-20, 70-30. Bud wants 50%. Spence thinks he's the big fish. He may have all 3 belts. He has a lot more leverage. Do you think the belts matter that much, or do you just think we should get the fight on? Now, they don't come at you like that. They want to ask these dumb questions. And don't get me wrong, they should ask questions if they really feel that they didn't get a clear answer, or they don't want to go and misquote somebody. I get it, but you can tell that and the thing is, most of the time when these people are being interviewed, there's like 30 microphones in their face. So it's like if I ask you, right, and so what's your favorite color? And he said, my favorite color is red. Okay, you gonna wear it on fight night? Nah, I probably won't wear a red shirt, but I mean, that's my favorite color. And then the guy next to me, hey, just piggybacking on that question. So it's my understanding your favorite color is red? I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy. Now imagine if he keeps his cool through that question. By the time the 6th person comes around, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna lose my cool. And I was surprised to see him get like that, because he even said, look, I'm getting pissed off. And I was like, damn, man, you don't never see him misplace his self-government like that. He doesn't just lose his cool. And I never thought anybody could get him to just step out of character Because when Kenny Toothpick Porter stepped to him trying to fight him, my man, he ain't blink an eye. Derrick James was just cool as a fan. And Kenny Toothpick Porter walked up on a man like Shaft with the leather coat and the little Kango, acting like he was ready to be Tupac in there and become ignorant and try to get physical. Maybe Kenny forgot that Derrick James was a boxer. Derrick James wasn't sweating any of that. And even when they came to him with questions, he didn't play into it. But I'm pretty sure Derrick James was just like, all right, touch me. And then it would have been, lights out for Kenny Toothpick, leather coat, Kango Porter. It would have been over for him. So that just shows me that this guy is human, man. And it also shows me that, I'm going to get a little more serious on this note, right? That everything that Errol Spence went through with the car accident, everything that Errol Spence has gone through since the car accident, with people saying he's not the same, people questioning his training, people questioning his discipline. Man, Derrick James has gone through that with him. He's gone through that with Errol Spence. Because you take a shot at Errol Spence, you're taking a shot at him. You question his discipline, you question James. You question his training, you question James. You're saying he's not the same fighter, that means that James isn't able to get him back to 100%. Now, albeit the car accident was violent, but the man has proved that he's straight. Derrick James isn't going to cover any of Errol Spence's injuries. He loves that guy, man. He's had him since he was like 16 years old. Why would he come knowing he's got some soreness or some kind of swelling or some kind of pain somewhere and try to mask that just so he can come out here and make millions, and then he can also benefit as a trainer? That's not how this guy operates, man. That's not how he operates. So I can understand him finally just reaching his breaking point with the BS questions. I totally understand it. I can't blame him. Honestly, I can't blame him. But it was hilarious because to see him lose his cool like that. But I understand. The man's under a lot of pressure too, man. If Errol Spence doesn't perform, he's going to take that as his loss. Like, the reason it didn't work out was because of me. Because, see, you can delegate, authority, but you can't delegate responsibility. It's his responsibility to make sure Errol Spence is 100%. If Errol Spence isn't doing something, it's like the boss, man. You got to whip his ass, man. You got to discipline him. You got to talk to him. You can't let him run the show. The trainer runs the show. Not the promoter, the trainer. So, and I believe he does that. And he's also getting tired, Derrick James is getting tired of people asking him about Charlo and Spence. Derrick James don't have time for that. I'm gonna make another video about that because he just doesn't have time for that. He was dodging them questions, man, big time. It's like he was dodging them questions like Leonard Ellerbe ducking those contractual questions about Tank and Mayweather. So I'm gonna do a video on that one, but I just want to bring that to attention. If you haven't seen it, it's out there, man. Just go and look it up. But Derrick James, man, actually had a little kink in his armor today, and I was surprised to see him act that way. But you can't blame him, man. He's gone through a lot too. It's like having a nephew, man, or a child. Father came to you at one of the boxing matches. Can you help him? Because Spence was just throwing a basic 1-2, maybe a hook. He said, yeah, start working with him. Spence used to get his ass kicked in sparring in his little boxing gym. Then with James, Spence started beating everybody else's butts in there, who were initially beating him. So Earl is very appreciative of James, and James is very appreciative of Earl, because Earl took him to another level. And just like what Pacquiao did for Freddie Roach. So, you take a shot at Earl, you keep digging at Earl. James is going to eventually, them crews are going to come out. He's going to take a defensive stance. He wasn't going for the BS today. But anyway, go look that video up. I got another video I'm about to make anyway about the Spence Charlo thing. I think that'll be interesting, but I'll talk more about that in the next video. As always, man, I appreciate your support. Finally bubbling up a few subscribers now, man. We got to get back to the almost 3,000 we had, but it's all good. It's a process, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. You guys take care. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Shout out to all the veterans, and as always, I'm in the breeze.